Good morning, good evening, and good afternoon, wherever you are in the world. Welcome back to another episode of Market Check brought to you by BB. Thank you guys so much for being here. We greatly appreciate your guys' continued and consistent support of what we are building here. We're getting real close to 20,000 on YouTube, guys. We're at like 19.9 something. I don't know what the number is, but we're almost at 20K, which is kind of awesome because one, it's a huge milestone. Two, in the beginning of the year, my goal for the YouTube channel was to hit 10K. And we definitely sliced through that goal like a hot knife through room temperature butter. No question about it. But it's pretty cool. Like, it's all thanks to you guys. You have helped us grow tremendously. We're going to do something special for 20K. I don't know when we're going to hit it. I'm sure it'll be within like a week or something like that. But either way, guys, thanks so much. Overwhelming support. You know, we really we show up every day. We give it our all. And it's fun hanging out with you guys. Like, I see all the regulars in the comments. Like, I know you guys. When you guys comment, I see your name. I know you. I know some of your personalities based on the comments. Like, it's fun. So again, thanks. It's a real treat to be able to wake up every single day and hang out with you guys and do this. Wow, look at this already. We already have a super chat. Inshallah, BB Habibis, y'all are goated. LFG, stay strong. All right. Thank you, bro. You have to be in our Discord with that
He
comment.
is. I know who that is. I know who that is.
We had a whole thing the other day about, like, I said it was cringy for like Caucasians to speak like Arabic. Like, it was just like
It
that's
is.
just it's just cringy. And then we've got some guys that live in the Middle East and they're like, no, we love it. Like, here, say these words. Like, it's actually cool. Yeah, see, look at Tommy just being all cringe, man. Look at this. Look at this Caucasian, inshallah.
Inshallah.
But anyways, thank you so much for the super chat. Seriously. But yeah, lots going on in the markets, guys. Lots to dissect, lots to talk about. The title of today's show is A Fork in the Road for Crypto, Up or Down? Market check. I would argue that it's pretty obvious where that fork in the road is. Tucker, maybe from that May low, you could draw a horizontal line. The May low. Draw a
Of course, man.
horizontal line
Of
right there.
course. Boom.
That's your fork in the road right there. Which way are you gonna go? Are you gonna go up? You gonna go down? I think it's a significant level. And then, of course, locally on the lower time frames, there's certainly a case to be made for, like, yeah, we've kind of been stair stepping up, chopping up, grinding up. Perhaps, we're due for a local correction, which ends up becoming like a mid time frame higher low. Maybe a pullback to 53, something like that. And then we continue higher. Or everybody and their grandma's praying for lower so that they can get, redeployed after basically selling the bottom. And you're not going to get your pullback. The truth is, I don't really know. For me, it doesn't matter too much. My hedges have been closed. They were closed pretty close to the low. Someone's making a whole bunch of noise there. It doesn't look like it's Tucker. He
It's
already
not me.
apologized for Japan. He would never do that again.
Yeah, never.
It's got to be Chef. It's got to be the Giga Chad down below. But the truth is, for me, like, it doesn't really matter. I am of the opinion that there's a higher than not probability that was the capitulatory bottom. We saw a VIX spike to 65. We saw ETH minus 50% from its yearly high, the 2024 yearly high. In my opinion, if you are expecting significantly lower, you're being a little bit greedy. When a few months after a Bitcoin halving, you see a wipeout in global markets like this, where the VIX spikes to 65, which is like, in the past 3 decades, there's only a handful of times that's actually happened. And you get a 50% pullback on a large cap like ETH and a 33% correction while in a structured uptrend a few months after Bitcoin halving, and you're asking for more. In my opinion, that's a little bit greedy. Maybe it happens. Maybe the lows get pressured again. But I view this as a gift. I view this as a gift for those that are looking to bid or to deploy. And you know what? Like, it was a big shakeout. And I know there's a lot of people saying, like, this wasn't a big enough shakeout. We need more. Yeah, I mean, I think it was big enough. I think it was actually a monumental shakeout comparable to that of COVID. Um, for stocks, I mean, we kind of had our own equivalent of like a Black Monday, truthfully. At least in Asian markets, right? Not so much domestically, but like that was a historic day. Like we will look back on that VIX spike to 65 for years to come, and we will study it, right? Because it was that significant. So, for me, I do have some stable coins, and I'm in the mindset of looking for key local levels to begin to redeploy those stable coins rather than, hey, we nuked, now it's time for me to de-risk. In my opinion, the time to hedge and de-risk was above 62K on Bitcoin. It's that simple. Now I believe the most constructive mindset for those interested and bullish on crypto as an asset class are, hey, where do I bid? Not, hey, where do I cheat? So anyways, lots to talk about today. Tucker's doing a little bit of work over here. Let's check in with him. Tucker, what's going on, man? I see you working on some art for us. Please explain.
Yeah, so for a second, I was like, I got a little worried for a second, and I was like, "Oh man, what if we're what if we are higher up in the COVID fractal?" And then I was like, "No." But I was
No.
like, "What if we were like right here for some reason?" But then after measuring it out, right, like I just had on here,
But bro, hang on. Even structurally, right? Like if you
I
zoom
know, I
out,
know.
like that doesn't even.
I know. I was on like the 1 hour when I was looking at it, but
Okay.
yeah, no, I mean, you had like a 10 to 15% drop on both, right? Then you had a little thing here. And that's why I was on like the 1 hour. I was like, oh God, we kind of look like we're like doing that. But
No, no, no.
then you dropped 30, then you dropped 60. And also Bitcoin was 1/10 the price back here. So I'm gonna say that math works out.
Check math, good math.
Yeah, check math, good math. So I mean, I'm thinking we're like if we were to play it to a T, right? Like you probably be somewhere in here. You maybe get this, you get this probably not even that low, right? It's probably more like that. If you were to get it. Like this is the bear case for me is we do this and we put the fractal on. You guys saw it yesterday, whatever, but that's kind of the worst case scenario in my opinion. Obviously like ETH doesn't look as good today, but it is,
Shocking. It's
yeah,
shocking to hear, to
really,
say.
really. I'm convinced that ETH is gonna start looking better here soon because I'm pretty sure. Well, Jump is basically out, right? And they're selling a ton of ETH, and there was FUD about that. Not even FUD. It's just news about that today. Barry's almost out, or getting close to. And once those two things are gone, I'm like, okay, there is a passive bid for ETH, right? Like they bid 50 million the other day that normally wouldn't have been bid, right? Like that's new money into ETH. So yeah, I think you gotta take that correction on ETH. What do we? I mean, the thing is down like 50% since March, right? Like what do you, like that's I agree with you, right? It's like are we being greedy looking for more? Probably, right? Like what do you think you're gonna get? Like you think you're gonna get, 60% in a halving year? I don't buy it. I don't buy
I
it.
think if we were later in the cycle, right? Like if
Yeah.
we had already seen like an ETH BTC rally and we were later in the cycle, I think there's definitely a case to be made that like, oh, that was probably the top. You might get another sweep of that high and then like the cycle's over. But I still believe that we're so early in the cycle that asking for more than a 50% drop in a halving year and an election year, while we're still in a structured uptrend, what we did here, although it was really aggressive, and I did not expect us to come this low. Tommy did, to be fair. I think Jackus was looking for lower. I don't remember what his target was, but either way, what we did here was we had a perfect textbook retest of a bear market reaccumulation, like you have drawn there, Tucker, like that black horizontal line. We reaccumulated in the depths of the bear market for over 500 days. We break out of it, and you just had a perfect retest of it. Now, granted, you don't like to drop 50%, but you're in a structured uptrend. If we're in a bull market, you got to take that. You simply have to take that.
Yeah. I don't know why you wouldn't, right? I don't know why you wouldn't. I mean, things always look worse when they're pretty much bottomed, and ETH looks horrendous. So,
Guys,
yeah.
Hey, Chef.
What's up, brother?
I wanna know which market maker announces that he's going to sell 20,000 ETH after the price nukes 50%.
Yeah, that's a good question.
Please explain which must be a smart market maker, right?
Mhm.
It totally couldn't be like you release the news you're gonna sell 20,000 ETH, price drops a little, you buy in, and then it goes up. Couldn't be that, right?
It could never be that. It could never be them announcing that and then actually selling some ETH just to spook everybody that they're going to sell all of their ETH, and then not selling all of their ETH and then buying more ETH after they've dramatically impacted the price. It could never be that, Jackus. And I'm actually
Never.
offended that you would even suggest that.
Mhm.
Market makers only have our intentions and want us to make money.
That's their goal. What are we even talking about?
That's their goal. Yeah, that's their goal. They're good people. They're good people. They care about you, and they would never manipulate the market ever to shake you out of your positions. But real
They are
quick,
only here to provide liquidity. That's all it is, guys.
like just going to Tucker's example, like I think this was your COVID crash, like right here. You know, like I don't think there's any argument to be made that like we are somehow like we still need to have our COVID crash. Like I think this was it. You know, and then even from like a lower, like a sweeping perspective, I mean, we kind of swept the same type of cluster. I mean, look at these. It's so similar. It's so incredibly similar.
Yeah. So what would that a little bull chop and then rip it?
Yeah, I mean, you kind of just have I mean, you could like over here you can see there's just kind of like a little channel that formed. You know, you might just do, you know, I don't know, something like this. I mean, it's kind of hard to draw. It's all squished down, but it's like, yeah, like let's zoom in and take a look at it. You know, you might just kind of grind and chop up, and you know, once you got back above, you know, sort of like this cluster over here for COVID, this whole cluster, which is, I mean, it even looks the same over here, right? I'll remove the circles. We can take a look at it. I mean, this structures literally look the same. You had the same type of VIX blowout. Like they look so similar. When you get back above this right here, that's when you're off to the races. Like all of this is just like, oh, we're going back down. We're going back down. Oh no, we're gonna nuke again. Oh no, we're gonna nuke again. Oh wait, no, we're not. So it's like, oh, we're gonna nuke. Oh, we're gonna nuke. Oh, we're gonna nuke. Oh wait, no, we're not. You know what I mean? It's just, I think that's probably what you're gonna get.
Yeah.
Chef,
They're crushing the VIX today, man. Yeah, Jackets, what's up, bro?
Jackus is just changing his profile picture. He's not even speaking. He's just speaking through his profile picture right now.
Yeah.
Literally. Like you don't say.
What do you think about this, Jackus?
I think so.
A man of few words.
I think so. Like, it's probably not going to play out the same as COVID has after. I think they are like, I agree with the people that say this is not like COVID, but I also disagree with them, and I would say it is like COVID. Like, there are some aspects to it being like COVID, in terms of the speed of the drop, in terms of the panic, right? It's not the same situation like we do not have a global pandemic, duh. It didn't have a same percentage drop as COVID had. it's we didn't have to halt trading, but like in many ways it was very similar. I
It
think
happened
it's
quicker
going
than
to
COVID, Jackus, by the way. It happened much quicker than COVID. Or a little
Yeah.
bit quicker. Yeah.
And I honestly think, like, context-wise, we've had enough pain since March. Like, I do not think more is needed anymore. And like, we cannot rule out. I do not think that like Ether can drop lower anymore. But as far as like BTC goes, I think it could still, like, even if it dropped below this week low, it wouldn't change things either. But I think it's probably not going to be same fractal-wise completely as during COVID to buy back up, but in some regards, I could see something like that playing out too.
Yeah, it's never the same, right? But it can definitely be useful to use it as like a rough guide. It helped me kind of de-risk at 64.7 or 65, you know. So
Yeah.
I feel like I'll just continue to use it on the way down. Let's see what ETH was doing. Let's just put ETH on the bottom.
Good job on that, by the way, on that little hedger there.
The hedge.
The hedgehog meme is so funny. It's like sleeps well at night, and then it's like, oh, you guys
can
are
we
such
put it on the
degens.
chart?
Yeah, we can.
Can you put the
We
hedger?
definitely
I love those.
All right, let me find it. Hang on. Here it is. Here it is. Hang on. This was me. This was me right before the nuke. I was like, I was sniffing out a US unemployment miss the night before. This is me. This was me. Always hedged. I'm fine. Luckily, I was hedged. Sleeps at night. Lives in fear of squeezes. I make money if this goes up or down. You're gonna make me hedge. You guys are such degens. Laugh my ass off. Happy with 20% a year. Knows the unlock schedule of 100 shit coins. Markets are about surviving. Funding is crazy. That FDV. That's me, man. I was the hedger.
Look at that bird too. Bird, sorry.
Yeah, it's
There.
pretty gross,
Beard.
honestly.
Beard,
Yeah.
sorry. Just missing the glasses, Max. Can you put on the glasses, please?
I actually think I have Let me see.
Those
I
look
might
like
have left them in my
those look
car.
like goggles,
Just
bro.
give you
Those look like goggles.
Yeah, they look like goggles. I love this one. Like, I'm fine. Luckily, I was hedged. Like, that's just a famous line, man. That is just that's just a famous one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sleeps at
I
night.
recorded this
Did
one.
you sleep at night?
This one. I make money if this goes up or down.
Oh my goodness.
That's the best.
Wabi, wait. I need you, Max, to show him this this screen that you have, and I need Wabi to say the line now. The Wabi line.
I was watching the whole presentation. It's someone said squeeze. Are we lagging some concentration here or something?
No, Wabi. I want to know about history, brother. Does history repeat?
Yeah, that's the line.
Of course.
That's the line.
History does repeat itself, but it often rhymes.
There it is. There it is.
That's right.
I mean,
Shame you don't have stickers on YouTube.
This looks kind of similar, right? So down here, I'll just put this in blue so nobody forgets that it's ETH. We got ETH. Make it blue again. There's ETH, Bitcoin's up top, COVID fractal, right? I mean, what are we talking about here? What are we talking about here? Kind of similar, guys.
Hagrid,
What do you think, Wabi?
So
Does history rhyme?
So isn't Yellen buying treasuries like 30 mil a day now that she's about to? So I mean, it's kind of like the same thing what happened post SVB, right? Like I think at the very least, right?
You'll ask Wabi what does he think of this fractal, and he starts talking about Yellen.
The fractal. sorry. All right, let me open up the entire thing. Yeah, I think it's pretty similar to the COVID crash, to be honest. Like the aggressiveness across the board. To be honest, like, dude, BTC had a day where it was down like 25% plus, right? Like we haven't had that happen in like 2 years, man, since June 2022, because the FTX low wasn't even that aggressive, to be honest. So we can really only compare it to two events, right? June of 2022 and then the COVID crash, right? So sorry about that, guys. That's
It always amazes me when somebody uses the ringer on their phone. Like, I think I've had my phone on vibrate for like 10 years.
No, that's an alarm, Max. That's an alarm. It's not a ringer.
That's the nightmare alarm.
Yeah, it's the worst alarm you can have. I have that alarm.
Yeah, you gotta have it for multiple things, especially like getting meals in and all that stuff, man. But
I mean, look at this, guys. Look at this. Look at this. Bitcoin up top, ETH in the middle, VIX down below. It kind of seems like it rhymes to me. I don't know. It seems similar.
Do you know what's my ringtone, Max?
What?
Do you know what's my ringtone?
I bet it's good afternoon.
No, it's not the pump it up, but I have one. It's from the Bad Boys. I'm not even
Bad
joking.
Boys. That's a good one.
Wait. Listen. In a few seconds.
Jack is look at my PFP. Look.
Oh,
it's your OG one. I don't know how that happened.
Oh yeah, Jackus. That's real nice.
So let's talk markets. As much as I like ringtones, let's talk markets. So if this is going to happen, I mean, ETH should be like, as the VIX continues to drop, like we should see everything move up here. Someone asked about USDT dominance, one of my favorite charts.
Max, I have to say something before you dive into it.
Yeah.
You know how like there's a specific content creator that talks about BTC dominance.
Of course.
For you, it has to be USDT dominance.
Yeah.
We have to make a meme out of that.
USDT dominance is my favorite, man. I love USDT dominance.
Someone has to say, "Excuse me, do you have one moment to talk about USDT dominance?" I don't know how that's happening, man. I literally haven't. I literally
Turn it off.
Turn it off.
Just turn it off. Dude, I like looking at Bitcoin and ETH dominance together. I feel like that paints a really good picture because it's like, are you in Bitcoin and ETH or are you in shitcoins? You know, but
yeah, no, I have Jackus. You asked.
What about the Ripple dominance?
Jackus, you wanted volume candles on ETH this morning. Remember
yes.
that?
Yes,
well,
yes.
Here it is, super quick. I'll give it back, Max. But look at that guy right there. This is the Binance.
Bro.
Wow. Look at that. Bro. And if I mark out previous ones, it's like, and this is a bear market already, so context is a little different. But like there, you've pretty much got a bottom. You know, there's similar volume. You had to accumulate a little bit, but if you even just the volume bars, like
it's capitulatory volume.
That's why I want you to bring that up. And did you know what I was talking about at first, or were you like,
yeah, I knew.
What is he even talking about?
These were the ones, these fat candles. Yeah, I wonder what Bitcoin yeah, but oh wow, yeah. This is the daily. It's gonna look a little different because volume fell off a cliff on Binance.
Yeah, that was the zero fees period.
Maybe if it's Coinbase or something.
Why don't you just do the aggregated one, like the trading view one that pools it all together, whatever, the index?
Yeah, it's this one.
I'm not sure how the index one is calculated though. It seems like it's decent, but you actually don't. No, I suppose.
Yeah, I don't really know how it's calculated. I just assumed it was like an average.
Yeah, I don't know. It doesn't look that big compared to 2022, 2021. But still a lot of volume. Still a lot of volume. You had minimal
What's
downside
really
afterwards.
important to note is relative volume, right? Not like all-time volume, but if you see during this range, like the change of relative volume over the past 5 months on a candle like this, that to me is more important than like all-time volume because conditions change so much, right? But
And by the way, I think they also like I think TradingView said one time, and I'm not sure if you guys remember. Tommy might have known this one, but like the way TradingView calculates volume is slightly different than we think it is actually calculated. So it's like
Yeah.
it's more like it calculates the amount of coins rather than the dollars. So if you like, it's hard to exceed. If price is higher, you will not get the same exchange of coins as you had during the bottom. So at bottoms, you will always have bigger volume, if that makes sense. As it's not like the volume bar at the bottom isn't calculating dollar value; it's calculating coin value.
Yeah, and that was I had the 3-day up, but the 3-day, isn't even closed yet. This is the daily though. This is the highest volume we've done, if this is calculated correctly, like this year.
Hagrid, can you turn on the super trend indicator? It's pretty good. If it pops up there.
I know what you're talking about. What time frame?
Just pull up the daily. That one's pretty important.
Sell. It's over.
Yeah, I don't know. You have to give it some time. Give it like 2 days.
Check weekly.
Or 4
Yeah.
hours.
Weekly.
4 hours, another one too.
Weekly, you're still good.
We had a retest.
We had a little retest, yeah.
That's literally the most important one, man. But you know what's crazy, man? I remember last year when Jackus was coming on the shows last summer, and one level that we were always talking about was like 48K, which was the March 2022 high. And he's like, once we break that, we're going at least to 63. And isn't it crazy, right, that like we tested that pivotal level, and he put that fractal out like last month or something, and we pumped all the way to like 70K before we hit that. I think, dude, just the way that we hit 70, I mean, the way we hit 48 was so aggressive, man. Like I remember that day, like we were just relentlessly nuking real late at night. I remember texting Hagrid and all that stuff. But yeah, dude, I think it's something for the books. Like, since everyone on this panel has been in markets, we haven't really seen the VIX spike like that outside of GFC. Like, I mean, of course there was COVID, but do you guys really consider COVID like, I guess, like, do you guys really count it? It's like a once in a lifetime event. Whether it's like scares like happened on Monday, they probably happen once every like 20, 30 years.
No, it's for sure once in a lifetime event, Bobby. It will never be repeated. Probably.
I mean, there's your case for like a 2025 Q4 top, right? Like,
yeah. The drop yesterday on altcoins basically reset total 3 by an extreme amount. Like, Q1 was incredible. That was like omega bullish.
This is all you need to know. This is it. I made this chart a long time ago. This is it. Right here.
It was never about the halving.
It was never about the halving. Satoshi knew it was never about the halving.
Yeah.
It was a bet that the first year of a fresh year of a U.S. presidency would be good.
Satoshi was trusting in the politicians to be criminals.
After somebody either gets reelected, yeah, that's true. after somebody gets reelected or somebody gets newly or freshly elected, the first year is really important. So here you go. Grind
I
up
think
into the election. Then
I
it'll be
legit
there.
think he's thought about that. Like I don't think it's an accident or a coincidence that he set halvings to be at the presidential election year.
Here, I'll add the halvings on right now. Yeah. Here you go.
Yeah, see, really, you just want to buy the election is all. Like you can buy the halving, but you will endure chop until the election happens. Really, you can just buy the election every time.
Look at the price action between the halving and the election.
It's terrible.
Like let's zoom in. Here you go. You can see it. Here's the halving. Here's the election. Boom. Terrible. Let's keep it moving. How about last cycle? Brutal. Literally brutal. How about right now?
Brutal.
Brutal.
I like how you say the R word.
Yeah.
That brutal.
Brutal. Yeah, it's just the same, man. It's just the same every time. Like, I just want to know what we're talking about here.
I don't know. I don't know what we're talking about.
I just can't get bearish this chart. I won't do it.
Probably the last like 8-10 weeks of accumulation, and then it's off to the races. Like if you guys pull out like maybe total 2 is a better comparison, like 6 months before the halving, usually at that point it starts grinding up pretty slowly.
Total 2?
After the halving, excuse me. 6 months, 7 months after the halving. That's typically like your last opportunity to get in before everything just like starts absolutely sending.
Oh man, total 2 actually looks pretty bad on the super trend, bro. I mean,
Yeah,
it kind of looks like the 2020. Like this is almost reinforcing that COVID just happened.
Yeah,
honestly.
Altcoins usually don't really do well for the second half of Q3, to be honest. Like they don't really start to curl up until like late October, early November, right? So it's
I mean, let's do this. Let's put up on this chart with the halvings in the election. Let's put up ETH BTC. That'll tell you everything you need to know.
Wabi's Wi-Fi is working. Yeah, it's a new provider. New provider, brother.
So here's ETH BTC down below. Pretty junky after the halving. Every time.
Study Q1 of the post-halving year.
Study Q1. Study accumulating between like October and December of the post-halving year. I hate that you were right about that, Tucker. I hate it because I know you said that a long time ago, and I was like, no. ETH BTC right now. It's time. But it's not. It's January.
Q1, baby. Q1.
You just basically start accumulating like after summer, just slowly. You know?
Yeah.
September, October, and then just sit on your hands until like March.
That's when your real alt season's gonna happen for sure.
I can wait. I don't want to, but I can. I will.
Yeah. Yeah, the question for me isn't to buy, it's what to buy.
Yeah. I would agree with that. Tucker, would you do me a favor and pull up the soybean chart?
I would love to.
Guys, you know the routine. We got a lot of people watching. We got not as many likes as we would appreciate. Guys, please continue to help us grow. Hit that like button, and also if you are new here, continue to I guess subscribe. I don't know if you can do that. Make another account, subscribe again. But yeah, guys, it doesn't give me any pleasure in life to put up the soybean cash contract chart on the Heikin-Ashi candle setting on the 10-second time frame. It pains me to do that. But the only way that we are rewarded for our hard work from the mega cap tech overlords is to get likes on our video. And I wish it wasn't so, but it is. You can do us a solid. If you haven't liked the video yet, all you got to do is you got to take 1 second, hit that like. Also, if you're watching on Twitter, there's a super secret special function that you guys have. You can not only hit the heart button, but you can also hit the retweet button. The retweet is basically like 5 likes in one. All right. It's unreal. Help spread the good word. Help us grow. Hit that retweet button. Thanks so much for being here. Yes, BB Wealth Management does. We invest exclusively in soybeans. Don't you worry. Only soybeans.
Yes.
Few understand this. All we do is DCA into soybeans. You wouldn't understand. You wouldn't get it. You wouldn't get it. What about lean hog futures, Tucker? What if we somehow like bought dynamite and hog futures at the same time?
Oh man, we could do a little insider hog trading. Yeah.
Yeah. Study.
Hog futures are down, man. Hog futures are down.
Capitulatory bottom, PO3. We're good.
Are we at the TP yet?
We got 234 likes. That's good, man. That's real good. Let's get back to it. So yeah, anyways, I don't know. I mean, I was hoping that, so we were very clearly in like an expedited cycle of some sort, right? Because we did go on to make a new all-time high before the halving, but this was a weird, like last cycle was weird. You could in a very kind of abstract way make the case that you could have had a cycle if it wasn't so like spastic. You could have gone higher if you just removed all of the like, the reflexive moves both ways. Like if we didn't have, this big summer rally, then we wouldn't have had such an overcorrection to the downside. If we didn't get so high so quick, we wouldn't have had that crazy drop. If we had just done more of a clean parabola, it's never perfect, right? But you could have made the case that we arguably could have gone to like 100K last cycle. And then
that is Max. That is legit what I was saying like for so long. You're speaking from my soul now.
Yeah, I stole your opinion. Like that's how you make it as a KOL is you find somebody's and you just take theirs and you say it's mine. That's what you
Feel free.
I'm sure you said it. It's kind of an abstract thought, right? People like to debate whether like, oh, well, what would the chart look like if COVID didn't exist? And it's like, we don't know, but I could see the case for like 69 or 70K being our complacency shoulder, just like, this was over here. Just like, kind of somewhere up in here like this was. So it's kind of an abstract way to look at it, but I think if we didn't have such a spastic, crazy cycle, which was, this was ridiculous, right? Like these moves were crazy last cycle. We probably could have had that 100K or much closer. And then maybe this wouldn't have been an all-time high before a halving, right? It's a weird way to look at it, but I don't think it's impossible to get there if you just kind of are open to it. So because we did technically make an all-time high before a halving, my hope was that we would continue on that fast pace, and we would just front run like any cuts coming in September, October, November, sometime Q3, Q4, and just continue on. But at this point, it seems to me like we are doing more or less what we've always done. And additionally, from a timing perspective, I'm going to remove all this now. We also have these time-based fibs right here, which I find really interesting. Here, I'll remove the elections and halvings. We've done the same thing every time where you grind up in the bear market, continue to move up. Here, I'll put the halvings back on here. Grind up after the halving. And then you basically put in a bull market top between your 0.25 and your 0.5 time-based fib, measured start of a halving, then the next halving is the beginning and the end. And then you put in your bear market bottom, between the 0.5 and 0.75. It's the same thing every damn time, and we just put in recently like bear market bottom, same as the previous 2 cycles. So this would suggest that we continue to move up, if we're going to use these fibs and then also use the election and the halving as confluence, we should move up from now, through Q1 of 2025 and peak somewhere end of Q2 or Q3 of 2025 as like a next cycle top. And your next bear market bottom will be middle of 2026. Will it be the same? I don't know, but there's a lot of confluence. If you just kind of ignore the macro and like a lot of the FUD and stuff like that, which you can only do for so long, right? There's something to be said about the timing of these cycles and how they've worked out, and then especially you add on, the elections, which I'll do again here. It's like, look at this.
Max, I need you to do something. So on just your most recent fib, is there a way to reverse it, to flip it?
No.
Damn. Okay. Well, what else can you put on there?
What do you want me to do? Tell me what you want me to do.
Because I know for a fact if you flipped it so that like 0.25 was 0.75, and then you put on the golden pocket, that top would be literally perfect. You know what I'm saying? Because it is midway between the 0.5. Yeah, okay, you could do that. And now put on the 618 and the 65.
I'll make the colors different. We'll do
618 and 0.65.
Here, let me.
Did you do 0.65 or 0.5?
I did 0.618 and 0.5. Is that not what you want?
Do 0.65 instead of 0.5.
Okay, hang on. Let me get this set here. So 0.65.
Yes.
Oh my.
Study.
Oh my. Oh my. Oh my.
I'm telling you, bro.
Oh my.
I'm telling you, that's it right there.
Let's get rid of. Oh my.
Study.
Oh my. Okay, first cycle didn't work. Not a real cycle. We're ignoring it.
Yes.
Last 2.
Boom.
Let me just make sure these are like perfect. Oh my goodness.
Yep, there it is. I'm
Brother.
a golden pocket boy.
What in the world is happening? Do you see this?
Yep, that's it right there.
Brother, you just invented
Mathematics.
fire. He just discovered fire.
Mm-hmm. So what does that put it at? End of 25?
That puts you between September and October, which, I mean, we knew by the other one, but the precision, brother.
The precision, yeah. September of 25. Sell it all at the end of next summer.
Full stack Jeet, everything in your portfolio right here.
12 months. You have 12 months from now.
I think it's going to be like March. I do not know why.
I don't know how like crypto would top in the summertime when there's like barely any activity. It's probably going to be like November, December, especially if we
Study.
I don't know, bro. I don't know, dude. Over the last like 8 summers in crypto, it's been pretty boring, honestly.
I will not fade this under
Look at
any
that.
conditions.
Study this chart, Wabi.
There's a lot of studying going on, but that's been quite the phrase over the last 6 months. But I'm not gonna gamble on a summer top when most summers have been quite dull.
Studying.
You know what I'm studying, bro? I'm studying 18 months post halving, 18 months after the halving. Pull that up. 18 months after the halving. July 2016, May 2020, and July 2016. Look at what happened exactly 18 months to the T. And also 18 months before the halving, right? So January 2015, if you want to talk bottoms as well. January
18 months is
after the halving. That put us at October.
Yeah, 555 over 30.
540. So I mean, that's saying the same thing, Wabi. I mean, that's basically 18 months. Let's see right here. Basically 18 months. It's the same thing. We're just using fibs.
The halving is the variable. The halving is moving.
Wabi, study fib confluence with your 18 months.
Yeah.
September, man. October I can get in line with, but September.
You're talking about 1 month difference. All right, we're there. We're there.
All you need to do is study. That's it.
September.
So are you betting on another push up after bad September seasonality in the post halving year after 18 months?
Yes. The halving was in mid-April, right?
Yeah.
So that put us in October. If you remember in 2021, we had a crash in September. We nuked all the way back to 38K. And then we had a push up to 48, and then we had October. And then going into November, we had that last little push. I think the top comes in Q4. It always happens in Q4, right? Like September.
Well, that's what this is. October. Yeah. I think we're saying the same thing.
Tucker was saying September. You want to sell it on September?
Well, yeah, you mean sell it in September if the top's going to be in October. You don't need to wait till the last second, do you?
I'll be front running you guys.
Yeah, I'm selling in August, bro. I'm out in August.
Jackus is going to dump on me. He just told me live on the air. You guys all heard it.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Maybe it gets pushed to like early 2026 or something, right? Like, what if Fed cuts like a third time, right? Like, they cut in September, November, Trump wins, they cut one more time, and the cycle gets delayed by a little bit, right? Usually, like, the market does have to take some time to digest these rate cuts, and then we start sending, right? So there's a possibility of that as well. I'm open to it, to be honest. I'm open to it.
I mean, TradFi can screw us up for sure.
I need you to put on the ETH chart. I need you to put on the ETH chart right now.
Here's the ETH chart.
All right. Then go on the weekly.
Sold ETH after. That thing made an all-time.
Go on weekly.
Okay.
Scale out of log. Put it in normal mode.
Dude, Jackus, that's asking too much of me. You know that. You know I would never do that.
I know. But in this example, it's going to be good. And zoom in a little bit. All right. Now, is this a level you guys would short at?
So here's what I'll say. I would like to buy here and then sell here. Okay. Because I want the market makers to make money. Okay.
Yeah.
No, the market makers want you to make money. That's why they are selling now.
No, I would not short this level. No, I would not.
I always tell this people, but because people are run by emotions, but you need to ask yourself, would you short here? And if the answer is yes, then go for it. But if the answer is no, then do not cheat here, right?
Like, in my opinion,
if this is not a shortable level, be a buyer.
The only thing you can hope for is like this. That's your best case if you're bearish, is like that low gets taken. That's it. That's like the best case if you're bearish, I think.
True.
I don't really like. I mean, decent move if you're scalping it, right? You know, you could go down here and be like, you know, oh yeah, about to hit a euro scalp right here. You know, 5 million R. You know, look at this 90 R scalp, euro scalp.
But you only post that after the price already moved 10 hour from your entry.
Yeah,
You don't
and then,
do that live.
yeah, exactly. And you go, oh, here we go. Study ICT. There we go. Boom.
There are still people who think that you can be longer term profitable on intraday.
That's a tough life to live, man. Tough life to live. I'm sure somebody out there is, but
I said long term.
what's long term to you? Oh, we got stopped out on the euro scalp. Look.
2+ years.
Oh.
Thank God I only lost 25 cents, guys. I was risking 25 cents to make $8, so it's good.
There is now 2 of me on this panel. Never mind.
Yeah. It's here's the thing. Even if you're bearish, right, and you're just like, oh, everything's going to zero, I disagree with you. But this level's getting retested no matter what. You're gonna see a fake reclaim of this level before it goes back down. And even when that happens, what's actually gonna happen is this. And then you're gonna be in an uptrend.
Do me even a better and zoom out on the monthly time frame, Max.
Oh my gosh, Jackass.
Whoa.
Will would love this. He would be like, put on the monthly. And just delete all that crap, all right?
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Cat crap, right? And just like, what are we even talking about? You have a clear higher high, higher low, higher high, right? Higher low. What are we talking about? We have a higher time frame range retest here on the monthly. What are we talking about? Are you gonna get bearish at support?
I think with ETH, the thing would be opportunity cost against something like a Solana, to be frank. ETH is probably it's probably not going to do anything until Q1 of next year, honestly.
What if I told you that the Sol ETH top was in forever?
I
How
don't
would you feel about that?
I don't believe that for a single second, man. Not for a single second. Like, dude, just going on CoinGecko, like for the last months, like the top gainers have always been on Solana. Like this entire summer, the only thing that's been moving has been things on Solana. The fastest things that have recovered since those local lows 2 days ago.
That's such a crowded.
That's true, though.
It's true, but it's such a crowded opinion to have now, man. Like everybody is like, oh, I need to get out of ETH and get into Sol. Like there was tweets this morning about that. I'm like, I just don't think that that's going to be a lasting. I think it's way too early to say that. Like I get the thesis, but I just think it's way, way, way too early to be like, yeah, like ETH is going to die against Sol forever. I don't really agree with that. It's possible. Like I could be wrong. I could be like a boomer who's just stuck in his ETH, but I am bullish ETH. Like we just talked about the cyclicality of it. Like, where the hell is it? We were just talking about it. Oh, well, it was down here, right? So it's like, why would we really expect ETH to do, if we're going to subscribe to this, like, why would we expect ETH to do well right now? We wouldn't. We would wait until basically the new year for it to do really well, right? But I don't know. I could be wrong, right?
Well, I do think ETH will have its overperformance, right? Like if you look at February, for the entire month of February, ETH did outperform Sol. It's kind of like an exchange of hands, but like for the last like 18 months, Sol has been the place to be when it comes to majors. But I have noticed over the last 6 months, it's been like a flip-flop between Sol and ETH, right? February, a ton of things on ETH rallied. And then in March, it was mainly Sol dominated. And then, Pump.Fun happened. We had all those tickers, and really, like, with the exception of Andy and Wolf, there wasn't really much to do on ETH, right? Whether it's on Sol, you had a multitude of
Pepe?
tickers. Well, I mean, Pepe for the most part, like as far as like upside momentum goes, it topped out in March. Like as far as upside momentum, right? I understand that it made a higher high in May, right? It rallied by like, 50, 55%. But as far as like upside momentum, right, where it rallies like insanely hard for weeks on end, it was mainly in March, right? But Pepe is a high cap, right? Like it's an official blue chip. I think it's pretty much right in line with a top 10 in my opinion. I think Pepe should be classified as something that's going to hit like 30, 40 bill this cycle. But as far as like action goes, like it's pretty much been Solana for months on end. But Q1 of the post-halving year, that's when ETH is usually like top.
What if I told you we were right here?
What's that?
On Sol ETH.
What if I told you we were right there?
I mean, local top maybe, yeah, because it is August. But as far as like action goes, tickers and all that stuff, it's mainly been Solana, right? Like I think even over the last like 2-3 weeks, there's been like 100 million in stable coins going into Sol. But I wouldn't rule out like a cool off period, to be honest. Like,
what we need, Wabi? We need a Sol meme coin index so that I can chart it against our ETH meme coin index.
Just take a look
That's
at.
what we
That'd be
need.
awesome.
Just take a look at WIF, for example, right? Like WIF hit $1 to the T and rallied like almost 80%, right? And take a look at a few other tickers on Sol like Popcat and Mew, right? And these are things that are in the 9-figure plus market cap, right? And dude, they basically V-bounced, right? So like I have no bias, mind you. I hold things on ETH, I hold things on Sol. This is just my observation over pretty nasty dump that we had like 2 days ago, right? Like Sol memes. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Valor wants you to sink, Tucker.
I know, Jack.
He's relentless.
I know it's not going to happen today, at least.
Wait. What is your TP for you to sink?
In terms of what?
Everyone has a price.
In terms
He
of
wants you to
likes?
sink.
It's $44, so that's Tucker's
And
price.
$44. Where did you go?
$44. That's a cheap singer.
$44.44. $44.44.
Why? Because of CZ, Wabi.
Yeah, dude, 4. I mean, CZ gets out of jail on the 29th, and
we're gonna send, man. We're gonna send. Yeah.
I think whatever low is gonna happen, whether it's a deviation below our current low, whether it's like a double bottom, it has to be put in within the next like 5 weeks, in my opinion. I think like within a week of CZ getting out, we start sending. So
look at this comment, Wabi.
I don't know, dude. I wear this because like
what?
It saves my eyes from looking at like blue screen all day.
Are those blue light glasses?
Yeah.
Wabi, study turning on night shift mode all day, every day. That's what you need to do.
I don't know what that is.
You have a Mac. You can do it. It's easy. It protects your eyes.
The glasses stay on.
The glasses stay on.
How long are they going to save DXY for?
Wabi with a glass.
What was that?
Need a coin. Wabi with a glasses. Need a coin.
I believe Pepe could do way higher than 30 bill. We'll see. I don't know, man. I'm keeping it conservative because I've had this thesis for months now, months and months. There's too many altcoins, too many emissions, too much supply coming on. I'd rather keep it conservative. The only reason why Doge got to that market cap last cycle was because there was no meme coin sector. All you had was Floki, Doge, and SHIB. That was it. And
I
maybe
keep on saying that too.
and maybe SafeMoon, right? But now you have an entire ecosystem. And who's not to say that like new things like on Ton would blow up at some point, right? Because like the thing you have to factor is that the bull market really gets its footing once ETH breaks all-time high. That's when things really get crazy. And I don't think we're in that same cycle where everybody is focused on the same tickers, you know. It's a very diluted market. So I'd rather like keep it conservative, to be honest.
What are you working on here, Max?
Just plotting the downfall of DXY. Don't mind me.
The fun spare time activity.
Yeah. I don't know. I just don't know how long they can pretend like this thing is not going to collapse. That's all.
I mean, it looks terrible.
As long as rates stay paused and US yields are somewhat hanging. The moment both start dropping, DXY goes down. What is this?
Yeah, Jackus is a good looking dude.
Where are they obsessed people? they want to know who is behind that PFP, man.
Jackus, 5,000 likes and you turn your camera on. 5,000.
But it would have to happen today.
Yeah.
5,000 and you turn the camera on.
If it happens while I'm on the stream, then yes.
All right, guys. 5,000 likes and Jackus does a face reveal right now. That's pretty good, guys. That should be easy. That should
What
be
are we
easy.
at, Max? What are we at?
We are at
Manish is
5,000,
right.
dude. We did it. We're at 5,000.
5,000 comments, maybe.
5,000 people waffling in the comments, but we don't have enough likes. What's SPX doing, man? Let's see. Be honest, I don't appreciate this trend line break. I do not. I am not an appreciator of that trend line break, Tucker.
Retest.
No, I know.
Tucker,
Jack-
did we top right at the 1618, brother?
Of course we did, Wobby. Of course we did.
Oh boy.
Where else would we top? Right at the 1618.
Right at the 1618.
We need to do this. That's what we need to do.
Yeah, we're probably gonna chop for months. But you know what's crazy is, go ahead.
That sweep is where you sell fucking everything.
Yeah. Yeah, probably.
No, that little hesitation, you need to get rid of that.
Jackus, you know what I think it is? I think we're doing this right here. I think that we're basically gonna do like this. And like you're gonna, because you got that same kind of VIX blowout over here, but then you grind it up to retest the high. It won't obviously be just like this, but I kind of see this, and we just, we do this right here. Sweep that high, then bigger correction, and then we move up, something like this.
I saw a super interesting chart, Max, of a pair, and I have it charted slightly, but you should do it. Just type in Bitcoin over VIX.
Oh boy,
that was my chart, bro.
No. Just the pair, Bitcoin VIX.
Man, we're
bro,
really...
I tweeted that this morning. You saw it on my Twitter.
I saw it on somebody else's last night, bro. I swear
Yeah,
to
and
God.
Bro, go to my Twitter. I literally
Wait,
tweeted
are you
that this
serious?
morning. Yeah.
No way.
Yeah.
I sent it in the Discord last night. Of
steal his
somebody
opinion.
else's.
Steal his opinion, bro, and be a leader, Hagrid.
Oh man, yeah, it's that chart. It's that chart. Yeah.
I mean, I could remake it. I think I deleted it, but
I mean, it's just yeah. It's
yeah, I have
that.
the wedge drawn still.
Yeah. Did you do? It's the same thing, I guess, but I just did BTC, so it's market cap, but I think it's the same actually. Yeah. I don't know, man. I guess you just bid the trend line. Brain is off, right?
We haven't really like gone to make such severe corrections after the VIX has gone up so high. It's usually like at least a year plus of uptrend after that.
Yeah.
And SPX historically has topped out in Q4. And I think like, isn't it the whole thing, Jackus, where after the Fed cuts once, we usually end up a lot higher within like 12 months or something? And usually, right,
So-
like with elections, like no matter who wins, right, markets under Democrats historically have done better than Republicans. And if a Republican wins, right, which seems to be like more pro crypto, like I do think there is room to be overly bullish next year for a lot of reasons, right? Especially when you have things like IWM, which haven't made an all-time high in like 3 years.
Well, IWM is a shitcoin index for stocks, and 40% of the companies are unprofitable in the index. So I really don't see much reason for like the shitcoin index of stocks to outperform well.
Easier monetary policy. That's the reason, right? Like if we think that like there's multiple rate cuts coming, if we think that overall we're going into a period of easing globally, then IWM, should by default do extraordinarily well in 2025. And IWM is an outperformer during post-halving years.
Sometimes can be very locally true. It's usually like the last period of risk on. Listen, with rate cuts, it's always like this, right? Rate cuts comes in to ease the economical pressure, but when they come, they are very laggy indicator, and it's super tough to play them timing wise. Usually, when they come, it's shorter term bearish, but longer term bullish, because it will always be longer term bullish, because it just puts more credit into the system when they ease rate when they like lower the interest rates, right? You can borrow money for less, basically. So that's the fundamental narrative behind it. And when you lower interest rates, you are going to make your money cheaper. So whatever central bank in the world is lowering interest rate on its currency, it's making its currency more accessible and less valuable, basically. So that basically what I'm saying is that the XY is going to go down when they start cutting rates.
Oh, for sure.
Here, let's look at this. DXY and Fed funds rate. I mean, look at what happens, or hide all of this. Look what happens as we get to like the end of the pause into cuts, right? Typically puts a lot of pressure to the downside on DXY. you know, interesting to see, like, you know, little kind of like right as we got into cuts, little scam pump and then nuke, right? This time was just straight down. Last cycle, little scam pump, then nuke. I wonder if when we get cuts, we'll see like a scam pump for no reason and then just nuke.
I think so. I don't think this time is any different, brother. I really don't. I don't want to gamble on that. Like, I think we fill a CME gap at 62, like 5 or whatever it is. And then, like, you can make your decision. But, like, when it comes to Fed cuts, like, I don't think this time is different, brother. I really don't. I don't. But I think by the second one, we're pretty much bottomed, in my opinion, right? So, election, that's like 6-7 months after the halving.
So you think they cut in September and we nuke and then we bottom in November?
Yeah, at least that's how I think crypto is going to be, right? Like by the second cut, I think for the most part we'll be bottomed, for alts at least, right? Well, for BTC, excuse me, because altcoins, like, it's kind of a weird basket, right? I think a lot of alts aren't going to survive, and total 3 is probably going to look like absolute crap. But if you pay attention, like when they cut rates in 2019, anytime they cut, right, like we first cut in like late July, and then like we nuked, we had a little like scam pump, then Fed cut again, and we absolutely got decimated, and then we had that Xi Jinping pump. It was like some China news or whatever, and if you guys remember, like in October of 2019, we had some pump from like 7K to 11K, and then Fed cut one more time, and we had like a double bottom retest at like 60, 67, 6,500 on BTC. But for the most part, like, we already bottomed, right, by the second cut. The third cut was basically just like a retest of the lows. So I think probably a similar dynamic. And then whoever wins the presidency, they're going to turn on the money printer regardless of who's in office, to be honest, man. So, you know, that's my dubious take from here until the election. Like, I think for the most part, crypto already put in its high in Q3. In November, though, I think we're going off to the races. Like, once CZ gets out of jail, things start up. Kind of similar, like, if you guys remember last year, like, for the most part, we already bottomed in August and September, right? September was a double bottom retest from the August low, and then we just started going into accumulation. And once we were in mid-October, we started to curl upwards. Well, equities were still nuking, so that's an interesting dynamic too, right?
I don't like that chart, Max. It's a bad chart.
It's a good chart, man.
Not with your TD9 on.
Oh, don't worry about the monthly TD9, bro. Don't worry about that. Don't worry about that. This is a good chart, man. This is a really good chart. Right here. This is this.
Yeah, for sure.
About to do this. About to do this. Study. There you go. Check chart, good chart.
Have you studied Wabi?
My mom told me to study back in March, and Hagrid knows about that. So
yeah, his mom high key called the top, by the way.
Like, to the day.
Because
she listens to me, like, doing these shows and all that stuff. And yeah, back in March, you know, and I was screenshotting some things too, brother. I was screenshotting some things, looking at some things that I won't mention on this stream, but, you know, whenever you start screenshotting stuff, you know, saving some bookmarks on things to get. And then Hagrid sent me a photo of him getting a Rolex.
I mean,
That was
That
such
was-
a top signal, man.
hey,
Tucker.
that was the best rotation I've ever hit right there.
And that was
Steady.
like, I think that was like right before I sold puppets in April, man. I think that was like that same week, brother.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it was the same week, right? Halving week.
Yeah.
Jackus, I have a question for you, and I need you to
Oh,
answer this.
shit.
I know. Jackus, how much of this recent price action is front running the Fed cuts?
I think we have front run the Fed cuts. They are priced in.
Okay, it's
Good
bullish
to
time
hear.
then, guys. If we've been front running the Fed cuts for 4 months, which by the way, there's actually a really sound argument for that being the case, because if we zoom in here, like take a look at this, right? Let's collapse these two. Let's look at let's look at here, let's go to the weekly. If we're front running Fed cuts, then we basically, and we just got COVID, then we basically just did this right here. And the Fed cuts in 2019 happened here. And they're going to happen roughly here. So if we front ran the cuts, then that means that the next part is this.
I just hope it is not in the same way as in 2020. I hope this like so far I'm really liking this cycle we had, because it's like a steady bull market with very scary retests that always flip people to think it's like not going to continue. Like we kept going up this entire time since FTX, and people lost money. Think about that. And I think that the time to be bearish was in July, which is where I was locally, and I said this, I'm locally bearish. I remain macro bullish because I think we are going to get a drop. And then the higher time frame structure is going to play out and we will be higher by then. You do not get bearish after ETH makes a minus 50% retrace. You don't.
Yeah, because then it's like,
And-
what are you really expecting? Are you expecting minus 80%? That's not a bull market anymore then, you know?
Yeah.
Then you have problems.
Yeah. And I mean, do you really think that Larry Fink launched ETH ETF and BTC spot ETF to make them just go down and fumble?
No.
The ETH fractal over, I mean, the BTC ETF fractal, when the ETF went live, ETH pretty much pulled out that pattern, didn't it? Like it went down like quite a bit.
Yeah.
Why don't we make it right now?
Yeah,
Why
because
don't we make it right now?
ETH, of course, is like higher beta and all that stuff. So of course it's going to go down.
Listen,
more. Guys, like
ETH
has basically been in, or I mean, maybe if this was the bottom, ETH has been in a downtrend, systemic downtrend against BTC for 2 years. Something's got to give. Something has honestly got to give here. So, like when ETH BTC gets rolling, it's going to blow people's minds out, in my opinion. That's my dubious take.
ETH is on a monthly support retest. And once again, you will see people that are bearish on H1, H4, whatever. But the dominant time frame is the monthly. And you are in a hard time frame range, retesting range lows from 2021. Best mic, thank you. People are loving this mic. Wow. Let's go.
Jackus, have you ever taken a look at Atom?
Adam or Atom?
Atom. It's the Cosmos token.
I have, and I will never look at it again.
Yeah, it's like crypto's version. Like, you know, when certain coins pump, it's sort of like the end is near. It's one of those. I find that like whenever Bitcoin Cash, right, BCH, and like Atom Pump, something's gonna happen. Remember last cycle it was XRP? Like whenever XRP would rally, like doom was incoming. It kind of
Atom is like that when a professional footballer has a kid and everyone expects the best of him, but he instead becomes a drug dealer. That's Cosmos.
What a specific example.
He's such a disappointment.
I mean, did you guys see, like at least in your personal lives in March, like did you guys have like IRL associates that were asking or maybe inquisitive about things in the crypto markets, or not really?
Sorry, what did you ask, Bobby?
Like back in March, right, when things were like euphoric, did you guys have people IRL that were like curious or inquisitive about like, hey, is now a good time to get into crypto? Or maybe someone's like, hey, I made X amount of money on this token, you should buy some. Did you guys have like any of that stuff happen this year?
Well, in March, but not now.
I always have people messaging me, so I'm not a great person to ask. I feel like I get a text like every day from somebody, But yeah, here's your chart, Wabi.
Yeah, to the exact T. But you know what's crazy, Max? Like we had a black swan event happen this time, whether it was in January when BTC sold off. Like it was just another day in the markets, another week in the markets, right? So of course, like the selling is going to be expedited. Like people aren't taking into consideration that Ethereum basically retraced all of its year-to-date gains. It basically tagged the yearly open, I think.
It did.
So
it did.
And that's a really key level, right? Anytime something hits the yearly open, it's do or die time, right? Like, look at all the alts that broke their yearly open. Systemic downtrend, basically another minus 50% after it broke. So I think 2000, right? The yearly open for ETH, it's very pivotal to hold, in my opinion. And ETH is what up now, gentlemen? Like almost 30%. That's strength. Larry bought that. I think Larry bought Jump Crypto's tokens.
I mean, we have to for the ETH ETF, man, like we have to be in here, we have to be, man. Larry is not happy about this. There's no way.
Yeah. I found it so funny, like on Monday morning when Tucker tweeted out, "I'm sorry, guys, I didn't see Japan imploding."
So funny.
I had to, bro. I had to.
The army, the Hagrid's army, brother.
Someone had to apologize for the sins of Japan, and it was Tucker.
Yeah,
manned up and did it.
It was never gonna be Japan. So, yeah.
Guys, study this, please.
I legit think though, because usually when you get something once, it's like new thing. Then second, it's like where lots of people think like, yeah, but it's not gonna be the same. Then it's the same. And on a third time, when you get something, everyone is like, it's going to be the same, but it's not the same. I think when we get a new ETF launch, it's not going, like everyone will be like thinking like, oh, Bitcoin drop on ETF launch, then ETH drop on ETF launch. So, oh, this will drop too. I will wait. And instead it will keep on running. Whatever it is, the third ETF launch that's going to be.
Solana, baby.
Yeah, Solana.
I feel like
Solana or XRP or Total 10, I feel like.
I feel like Solana is basically ETH in the 2017 cycle. Like I remember when I always reference that video that me and Max did last September, and
at the Schmeeko bottom.
That was crazy, dude.
Miko.
Like, so basically what happened, like in the summertime, in June when we hit those lows, Solana got delisted from Robinhood. I think it retested $30, and then going into September, it bottomed out at like 10 to 12 bucks. Me and Max did a video, and we're like, yo, like, what can Solana potentially do, right? Like, if it mimics Neo, if it mimics ETH, and it's following ETH like to the T, with the exception of, like, of course, this cycle for at least some tokens being somewhat expedited. Like, if you were to tell someone, you know, last September when Sol was trading once again at like 11 to 15 bucks, that, hey, in 6 months, Solana is going to be trading at over $200 again. And there's going to be like tons of tokens on Sol trading above $500 million market cap, they would have called you a crazy person. So this cycle definitely is different. And, yeah, that's what I have to say about
Things
that.
change quickly, man. Things change really quickly in crypto. Like, people forget that. Like, just as quick as it's so over, we could be so back.
And we are so back.
We're back. It's like we never left.
What likes we add, Max?
If
5,000, Jackus, turn your camera on. 5,000.
Oh, come on.
Guys,
You want me to wait?
Oh, I was just gonna say.
You want me
like,
to?
Go ahead, Jackus. Go ahead. Go ahead.
You want me to get my PFP?
Yeah.
So, guys, if ETH were to repeat the BTC ETF fractal after it's bottomed, right, and say maybe 38K was 2K for ETH, right? Like, how long did it take BTC to fill that gap to the upside? Like, about a month or so, right? That's when we were back at 48, 49K. That would put us in, like, I don't know, early, mid-September, shortly before CZ gets out. So maybe ETH back at like 34, 3,500 mid-September. Right before
Jackus, I know you laughed at this.
I did, and I laughed that Max didn't get it.
I don't get it.
When he said like,
I still don't get it.
when he was like, yeah, I was like, I know he doesn't get it, but he said, yeah, I respect it.
I still don't get it. It's okay. As long as if it makes you happy.
You need to study. You need to study Debated.
You need to study this chart, okay? And you need to get bullish.
I have studied. Do you think I'm not bullish, Max?
No, I think you might be too bullish. I think you're probably calling up everyone you know asking for money because you're that bullish. You're going to every bank, give me a 50% APY on this loan. I need to buy shit coins. I think you're bullish.
I legit texted real life people around me saying, you probably won't get a better opportunity for the next few years to buy.
Wow. That's a bold statement to make. You're going to enjoy them texting you on every little pullback freaking out. That'll be fun for you.
Wait, Jackus, what do you think?
They'll be like,
talk about this.
You liquidated my life savings. I'm coming for you.
You told me it was a guarantee.
Jackus, address this comment, would you?
I look at it nicely.
ETH monthly.
Here you go. We already looked at it, didn't we? I still have it up.
We looked at it. It's a bullish one.
Look at this.
What else?
This is bullish.
Yeah. It's legit at the monthly support.
How would you draw it though, right? Because like you could argue on a monthly that's like a lower high, right?
What?
Tucker, let me teach you something right now, okay?
I think it's bullish. I'm just saying.
No.
I get what he's looking at.
I'm gonna need 5 cents from you because this right here, my friend,
mega
is mega demand. Okay, this is mega demand. It's that simple. Now you owe me 5 cents because you made me say mega demand.
Yeah.
That's what it is. It's that simple. What if we flip the chart? Oh,
dump it.
Look at this supply. Nice retest of overhead supply. Here's what you do.
I will use your line, Max. Listen, guys. In a few years' times, how will you be able to look into your son's eyes and tell him you cheated the mega demand? Freakish behavior. Couldn't be me.
Dude. Yes, Jackus. Yes.
He's proud.
How could I go home after cheating my bags and look my son in the eyes? Daddy didn't cheat his bags. Daddy secured you generational wealth.
Max, is that a pullback on the
Fucking
chart?
legend.
Yeah.
Fucking legend.
You draw a pullback.
Yeah.
No pullbacks.
This
No
is the
pullback.
monthly right here. This is all you need to know about the monthly. And since it's flipped, we could change this to mega supply. And we'll put this red for a short.
I'm owning that trademark. 5 cents for me every
No.
time someone says mega supply.
You owe me 5 cents.
No.
They're not
No.
factoring. They're
You
not.
only have demand.
I'll
You only
Venmo
have demand.
I'll request it right now. You owe me 5 cents. You said it.
They're not factoring in one of us being the new Fed chair in 2 decades in charge of monetary policy.
Is that you?
Wabi, if you were the
That's
Fed
Agnew.
chair, what's the first thing you would do?
I know what I would do.
I would bring rates down straight to 0.
You want to know what I would do? I mean, yeah, I would do that too, but I would basically implode the dollar and then recommend that we start using Bitcoin as our currency.
Yes.
I would basically just disband central bank. And
Did you know that Warren Buffett
Or
now
audit-
has more
audit the
T-bills
Fed.
than the Fed?
That is
he
crazy.
listen, Warren Buffett now owns like 5% of all T-bills in the world.
That is insane, man.
I see no problems with it.
He's getting ready for the gigantic crash. But he technically doesn't have that much time, given how he looks. But
He's
like
old.
he's been long enough in the markets so that he can wait a few years for the drop.
Mm-hmm.
I'm here playing with like weeks and months and possibly a year time. But he doesn't mind waiting 1 or 2 more years for it. He knows what's coming. I know what's coming. But the hardest part of cycle is playing the timing. I said it.
But I mean, if you're up like 10 million X from your initial investment or whatever, like at that point, you're just doing it for the love of the game and you're trying to secure like generations and generations and generations of wealth, right? Like,
I'm not interested in 10x.
yeah, yeah, like people misinterpret like Warren Buffett's strategy. Like Berkshire Hathaway does more than just stocks. They own a ton of real estate as well, right? They own a ton of IRL businesses, right? Like I don't know. Warren has had like that track record of Berkshire Hathaway sold. The time is ending. That's happened over the last 10 years. I kind of feel like Buffett's positioning of being in cash. It's kind of like Robert Kiyosaki predicting the market-wide meltdown when everything goes down 90%. There's a little pullback, and then Robert Kiyosaki tweets, and he's like, "Oh, that's it. The end is incoming." Warren Buffett sells. "Oh, that's it. The end is incoming." It's kind of like the same thing, in my opinion. But I will say that timing of Buffett selling half of his Apple stock and then Japan imploding, that's kind of sus. That is kind of sus. I'll say that much.
Yeah, he knew.
Guys,
Mhm.
this is bullish. You understand?
Mega demand.
Supply.
Inverted. This is mega supply.
Mega supply.
Listen, guys, that's the show
Zero.
for today. Do me a solid before you go. Please consider liking and also subscribing. Help us hit 20K. We're getting real close to 20K. Thank you, Chef. Last but not least, guys, check out the links in the description below. If you want a more intimate look on how we are all approaching and actually positioning in these markets, check out the first link in the description below. That will take you to our website where you can sign up for our Discord. We do over 2 hours a day of private live voice calls. We have active positions channels and basically share everything that we are doing in these markets. Second link in the description below is to our new BB Academy, guys. I don't say this timidly. I believe it is probably the best and most comprehensive trading TA and FA educational course and content on the entire internet, guys. Support BB, support your trading journey. We can save you a lot of time and a lot of money. If you want to speed run that educational journey, the BB Academy is for you guys. Second link in the description below. Last but not least, guys, we are actually managers of something called BB Wealth Management. We can actually legally manage your money through our new hedge fund, BB Wealth Management. If you have an interest in us actually managing money for you and you are an accredited investor, check that out, guys. You can find it in my bio on X. You can go to the BB Twitter account. You can find BB Wealth Management Twitter. You can fill out a contact form to set up a meeting with us, and we will happily call you to discuss. We crushed it on this drop. Thanks mostly to Tommy. Tommy fucking nailed that one. But yeah, BB Wealth Management, guys, check that out. Should be third link in the description, or there's a Twitter account link below. But yeah, guys, Discord, BB Academy, BB Wealth Management. Join us. Join us somewhere. Whatever you want to do. You pick. There's 3 options. Join us somewhere. But guys, thanks so much for being here. We will see you tomorrow for Market Check. Everybody have a great night. Stay safe and take care.